Hi, I'm Lydia, and you're watching Live with Lydia. In today's episode, How NLP Will Change Your Life, we're going to look at what is NLP, the acronym for Neuro Linguistic Programming, what are the benefits, and how you can implement this in your personal life. But before we begin, I'd like to remind you to subscribe to our channel and to click on the notification bell to get updates on our latest episodes. This show has been brought to you by Quorse, one of the largest training search engines in the market. My featured guest for today has a doctorate of philosophy in hypnotherapy and is also a certified NLP trainer and practitioner with over 2 decades of training experience. Let me introduce to you Dr. Harjit. Hi, Dr. Harjit.
Hello, Lydia. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for joining me today.
Truly, truly my pleasure. I'm really glad to be part of the show today.
Same here, same here. Okay, so let's start with today's episode, which is how NLP will change your life. All right. So maybe Dr. Harjit, could you explain what does NLP mean?
Okay, to start off, actually, for those who are searching on NLP on Google, just be careful. There's another NLP, which stands for Natural Language Processing. So, yeah. So, we are not talking about that today. Today, we are talking about the NLP, which is Neuro Linguistic Programming. Basically, NLP is actually the methodology of modeling success.
Mm-hmm.
So some people wonder that, hey, if I want to be as successful as somebody, do I need to do certain things? Is there any particular template? Is there any practice that I can do in order to become successful like others? So the good news is there is. So the founder of NLP, John Grinder, and these are the so-called modern founding fathers of NLP, John Grinder and Richard Bandler. So they came up with the terminology of NLP. It's actually a template to change your thoughts, your behavior, in order to take you to a higher level of competency or success.
I see.
So that is what I can say in a summary of what is NLP all about.
Regarding NLP, right? So why should people adopt this method of thinking?
Okay, if you remember what I mentioned, it's about the ability to change your thoughts, your behaviors, and all that. So it can be used for various purposes. It can also be a communication model. Like, for example, if you watch me talking to you now, my hands cannot keep quiet. They're always moving around. Right? So it's become part of it. The ability to use non-verbal or body language become part of it. Persuasion skill. It also can be used for motivation, change of mindset. So the usage of NLP is very, very wide. A lot of aspect, even in your working career, even your personal life, including parenting also. You can apply with your kids. So there's a wide range of NLP applications.
So, Dr. Harjit, for students or fresh grads or young working adults, how does NLP method of thinking help them in terms of their work and everything, but also maybe personal things like stress and relationships?
Okay, yes. We hear a lot of stories about, the new workforce, the new generation that goes into the corporate experience. They go through a lot of hardship. They can't handle stress and all that. So there's a couple of techniques of NLP that can be used by them. For example, let's say reframing. So they might be facing a boss or superior for the first time, in their corporate working experience. So there's a way of looking at things from a different perspective. So in NLP, we call it reframing the mindset. So if let's say, to be real, sometimes the bosses might scold you or, use certain words and all that. We look at the situation by reframing it rather than they say that, hey, the boss is scolding me, but we say the boss is actually scolding at the situation. So that kind of thinking also alleviate or, manage the stress for this young workforce, like these young professionals. There are also other techniques in order to motivate themselves. Sometimes when we go to work, we cannot be motivated every day. There are certain down days, there are certain up days. So we can also deploy some of the techniques, like, for example, anchoring. Anchoring is creating switches in somebody so that when you feel negative, you don't feel like working, you feel your productivity is down and all that, you invoke your anchors so that the mindset goes more into the positive side.
I
So
see.
these are the
That's
wonderful things.
about reframing. That sounds really interesting. So
Reframing, anchoring, and all that. Yes.
if a person would like to learn how to adopt NLP thinking and practices into their life, how
Yeah.
should they start?
Of course, there's a lot of materials on internet, a lot of write-ups is there, but the unique thing about NLP is that it needs to be demonstrated. So, for example, I can give you all the articles about reframing. You can read about it, but if somebody were to able to demonstrate it to you, it would be much better. So, I do conduct NLP certification program also. So, where people will go through all the methodologies of NLP, including all the practical techniques of NLP that they can apply in their life. So that can be the first step. And then we also have the advanced practitioner level. If they want to go further, they can go into NLP coaching certification. So there is a sort of like a systematic learning approach.
So, Dr. Harjit, I'd like to ask, what are the key benefits of having NLP method of thinking?
Wow, the benefits is frankly a lot. So let me just illustrate, let's say maybe one benefit. When we went into lockdown during the pandemic, of course, most people went through stress, anxiety, and all that. So just reframing the situation, just reframing about being locked down at home, facing uncertainty, when is it going to end? So rather than going deeper into the negative mindset, I started reframing, looking at things from different perspective. So that itself was an NLP technique. And the result was, of course, did not go through severe, stress or depression. Of course, anxiety might be there, okay? But the beauty part is we can reframe every day, every moment. So that's one of the benefits I can just illustrate from one of the techniques. A lot of benefits, like I mentioned, how we communicate with people, how do we actually persuade somebody. It can be used for influencing, persuasion, positive purpose, of course, and motivation. These are the tremendous benefit of NLP.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Harjit.
Truly, truly my pleasure.
And thank you guys for joining us. So we'll see you in the next episode.
All right. Thank you so much and happy NLPing. Thank you, Lydia.
Most welcome.
Looking for training? Want it fast and simple? At Quorse, you can find the best training available from dozens of training providers right at your fingertips. Just type in what you're looking for, and you will immediately see the list of courses that matches your search. Something still missing? No worries. We've got that figured out for you. Refine your search further by using our filters that look into your training budget or location and more. You can even organize a private class for your employees. View any course content of your choice. And check out the reviews from those who have attended. Like to know the trainer of the course you selected? No problem. Our trainer profiles come with a quick video introduction just for you. So whether you're from HR searching courses for your organization, or a business owner looking to learn at your own pace, there is definitely something for everyone. Web development, creative communication, leadership, and many more. Quorse is made ready for you anywhere, anytime. Browse for courses at work, or at your favorite hangout, or even by the beach. Experience it for yourself. Just search for us at Quorse.com.